The flower economy of Dalat is not a romantic spring tale. It's a harsh production field where a colonial past, socialist state planning, and global capitalist brutality intersect. Today, Dalat is a massive industrial machine that carries 50% of Vietnam's total flower production, exporting 4 billion stems annually. However, between the gears of this machine lies both a great success and a heavy ecological and class-based cost. It all began in 1893 with the occupation of these lands by French imperialism. The French excluded the indigenous people of Vietnam and transformed this cool plateau into a laboratory for their own aesthetic tastes. The first flowers were planted not for the working people, but to decorate the tables of colonial elites. Today, modern flower economy is built upon this hierarchical legacy. The true breaking point of this industry was the wave of strategic and forced migration in 1938. 35 families from traditional flower growing villages near Hanoi were relocated to this plateau to meet the fresh vegetable and flower needs of the colonial administration and aristocrats. This settlement, known as the Ha Dong Flower Village, is the actual starting point of Dalat's professional floriculture history. What is this? Dailagi? These people didn't come here by choice. They were displaced to place the ancient agricultural knowledge of the North at the service of colonial logistics. These migrants, peasants, who cleared the wilderness with their bare hands, sowed the first seeds of what is now a billion-dollar industry. According to 2024 data, Vietnam's flower exports have exceeded $100 million. 40% of the flowers in the Japanese market come directly from here. These figures shine on paper, but what lies behind them? Here we see the pragmatic yet firm intervention of the Socialist Republic of Vietnam. The state implemented the new rural development program against the uncontrolled destructiveness of the free market. Contrary to Western capitalist models, it provided technology and credit to small farmers to prevent the means of production from falling entirely into the hands of giant corporations. Thanks to this, floriculture became a sector that yields 20 times more profit than rice farming. The socialist state attempted to transform the peasant into a production subject in their own greenhouse rather than proletarianizing them and trapping them in a factory. However, the other side of the coin is the insatiable demand of the global capitalist market. The global market demands perfect and cheap flowers. This demand has turned Dallas nature into a plastic prison. Today, an area of 45,000 hectares is covered with greenhouse sheets. The soil can no longer breathe, and rainwater cannot reach the groundwater. The use of chemical fertilizers and pesticides has commodified and poisoned not only the plant but the soil itself. From an anthropological perspective, the flower in this region is no longer just a ritual object. It's a commodity integrated into the global value chain. Female labor is the most critical link in this chain. Delicate craftsmanship in the greenhouses rests on the shoulders of women. Yet this labor remains vulnerable to price fluctuations determined by the global market.
If you lie this way.
While the legacy of those 35 families who come from the north in the 1930s has evolved into a massive industry. The identity of the peasant has also shifted from craftsmanship to technical operator of the global market. In conclusion, Dalat is the center of the precarious balance Vietnam has established between socialist planning and the global market. Although the farmer's income has increased with state support, the mode of production has become entirely dependent on foreign markets and capitalist consumption habits. Dalat's success is a development model, however, the price paid is the exploitation of soil and labor. In closing, one must ask, can a socialist state fully protect nature and labor from the demands of global capital? Or does it merely change the form of this exploitation?
Tonga, look at me, Tonga.
Survive. I'm living.